Early on November 30th, 1939, the USSR launched a massive attack against Finland, the start of the Winter War. On the day the conflict started, 80 years ago, Finland had approximately 300,000 men under arms to defend the whole of the country. It was woefully short of supplies, with only enough cartridges, shells, and fuel to last about 2 months. Finland had a mere 32 tanks, only 10 of which were fit for combat when the war started, and 114 mostly obsolescent combat aircraft that could enter the fight. The Soviets had secretly built roads leading to the border, allowing them to deploy their 2,514 tanks and 718 armored cars. Even so, what Soviet military planners thought would be a swift advance on the first day made little headway in the face of fierce resistance at the border. Finnish troops made delaying actions before falling back to prepare defensive lines and carried out scorched earth tactics along the way, destroying anything that could be of use to Soviet forces. Soviet bombers flying out of airbases in Estonia, just across the Gulf of Finland, carried out the first attack on targets in Helsinki. At 9:20 a.m., 5 minutes after the first air raid sirens were heard in the Finnish capital, a formation of 3 Soviet SB-2 bombers appeared over Helsinki headed. The first bombs fell near an elementary school in Santa Hamina. Because of cloudy conditions, the planes failed to find their target, instead unloading their bombs in residential parts of Malmi, Pasila, and Tikkurila. The Winter War did not take place in a political and military vacuum, but rather was linked to Soviet expansionism and power plays for dominance in Central Europe. In August of 1939, the Soviet Union signed a non-aggression treaty with Nazi Germany, known as the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. It included a secret protocol in which Eastern European countries were divided into spheres of influence. Finland fell into the Soviet sphere, in effect guaranteeing the USS. In early October, Moscow demanded that the border with Finland on the Karelian Isthmus be moved westward and Finnish fortifications on the isthmus be destroyed. Demands were also made for some Finnish islands in the Gulf of Finland, territory on the Barents Sea, and a 30-year lease of the southernmost Hanko Peninsula, around 120 kilometers west of Helsinki, for use as a military base. In exchange, the Soviet Union offered Finland areas in eastern Karelia. The Finnish government rejected Soviet demands and made a counter-offer that did not satisfy Moscow. Joseph Stalin and his generals expected Finnish defenses to be overwhelmed and for Finland to capitulate within a matter of weeks. Instead, for close to 4 months, the Soviet Union had to commit over 750,000 men and vast amounts of its superior armor and air power to Battle B. A peace treaty was signed on March 12, 1940. Finland lost 11% of its territory and 30% of its pre-war economic assets. The USSR got a 30-year lease to use the Hanko Peninsula as a military base, but Finland retained its independence. Over 420,000 Karelians, 12% of the nation's population, were evacuated from the ceded territories.